You opened it again, didn't you? Not to text. Not to fix anything. Just to look. To see if something changed, even though you already know it didn't. And the strange part is, you already knew you were going to do it, even before you opened it. It's almost automatic now, like your body moves before your mind can stop it. You told yourself you wouldn't do it again. And for a while, you didn't. You were okay. Distracted. Moving on, or at least trying to. Then something small happens. Always something small. A song. A place. A random memory that shows up out of nowhere. And suddenly, you feel it again. That pull. That quiet urge. Not strong enough to scare you, but strong enough to bring you back. And before you even realize it, you're there again. Scrolling. Looking. Searching. Not for anything specific, but for something. Something you can't even name. And while you're doing it, there's a part of you watching. The part of you thinking, why am I doing this again? I already know there's nothing there. But that part never wins. Because the feeling is stronger. And the feeling doesn't need logic. It just needs attention. So you keep going. You check. You scroll. You pause. You go back again and again and again. And every time, it feels slightly different. Not better. Not worse. Just enough to keep you there a little longer. And the worst part is, you don't even know what you're expecting anymore. A message? A sign? A change? Proof that something still exists? Proof that it mattered, that it was real? But it's always the same. Nothing new. Nothing different. Nothing that gives you what you're actually looking for. And still, you go back. Because this isn't about them anymore. It stopped being about them a long time ago. But your mind hasn't caught up yet. It keeps pulling you back, like there's something unfinished. Like there's something you missed. Like there's something you didn't understand correctly. Like if you just look one more time, you'll finally get it. You'll finally feel something that makes it all make sense. But here's the part no one tells you. You're not checking them. You're checking a version of yourself that only existed there. The version of you that felt something intense. The version of you that felt seen. The version of you that believed something real was happening. And now, without even realizing it, you're trying to go back to that version. Because outside of that, things feel different. Quieter. Less intense. Less meaningful. And your brain doesn't like that. Your brain prefers intensity. Even if that intensity came with confusion, uncertainty, or even pain. Because intensity feels like something. And your brain would rather feel something than feel nothing at all. So it goes back. Not to them, but to the feeling. To the last place where everything felt alive. Even if it hurt. And if you pay attention, there's always a moment right before you check. A very small moment. Almost invisible. Where you feel the urge, and then you act. And most of the time, you don't even notice that moment. It just happens. Like a reflex. Like something already decided for you. But that moment matters more than you think. Because that's the only place where this pattern can actually change. Not when you're already scrolling. Not when you're already deep into it. But right there, in that split second. Where the urge appears. And you either follow it, or you don't. And most of the time, you follow it. Not because you're weak, but because it feels automatic. Because your brain learned that pattern. And anything learned, repeats. Until something interrupts it. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because every time you check, you reopen something that was slowly trying to close. You interrupt a process your mind was trying to finish. You restart a loop that has no natural ending. It's like touching a wound not to heal it, but just to make sure it's still there. Just to feel it again. Just to confirm that it happened. That it mattered. That it was real. And you tell yourself it's harmless. It's just a quick look. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just curious. But it does. Not because of them, but because of what it does inside you. It keeps you connected to something that already ended. Not in reality, but inside your mind. Inside your emotions. Inside your need for closure. Because you're not waiting for them. You're waiting for a feeling. A specific feeling your brain hasn't been able to replace yet. And until it does, it keeps going back to where it last felt it. And there's something else happening too. Every time you go back, you reinforce the importance of that moment. You tell your brain, this matters. Even if consciously, you know it doesn't. Your behavior says otherwise. And your brain listens to behavior more than thoughts. So it keeps bringing it back, making it stronger, more present, more difficult to ignore. But that's not even the real problem. The real problem is this. You think closure comes from understanding what happened out there, from their actions, from their silence, from something they might do. But it doesn't. Closure comes from understanding what is still happening inside you. Because if it was truly over for you, you wouldn't feel the need to check. Not because you're strong, but because it would feel irrelevant, neutral, gone. And right now, it doesn't feel like that. So your brain keeps searching. Not for them, but for resolution. For meaning. For something that makes all of this feel complete. But here's the truth most people avoid. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the question that never got answered. Was it real? Did it matter? Was I enough? And every time you check, you're hoping, somehow, the answer changed. But it won't. Not there. Not on a screen. Not in their life. Because the answer you're looking for was never stored in them. It's stored in you. And once you really understand that, something shifts. Not all at once, but enough. Enough for you to hesitate. Enough for you to notice. Enough for you to pause. And that pause, even if it's small, begins to break the pattern. Because now, you're not just reacting. You're choosing. And the more you choose, even imperfectly, the weaker that pattern becomes. Until one day, you reach for it and stop. Not because you forced yourself, but because it no longer has the same power over you. Not because you forgot, but because you finally understood what you were really looking for. And it was never them.